I'm finally getting inspired for fall. I am back from a bunch of travel and I need to come up with some currently inked. And as I was getting ready for work the other day, I pulled out my old Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, and nothing inspires me more for fall than this. Look at the beautiful array of colors. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to be swatching this palette onto paper so that I can compare it to the inks in my collection and come up with some color combinations I want to put in my currently inked for the next month or so. I've not tried this before, but I don't have a color block, and I know a lot of people draw inspiration from that. And I thought, well, I would just use this. So follow along as I try to make swatches on this. Now, I've tried a few different papers, and so far, this watercolor sketch paper pad seems to work the best. It is just a generic one from Amazon. I got Artisto. So I pulled this paper out and I'm going to swatch along. It seems with all of the different types of shadows that are in this palette, the ones that are hardest to transfer onto paper to see are the ones that are metallics. So I'm going to pull out some water to help make it a little bit more absorbent, and I'll spray that off to the side. See how this goes. I'm going to demonstrate a couple for you, and then I will speed up the video so you don't have to watch me swatch all of these. The ones that are going to be the hardest to swatch are the metallics, and it looks like it's about half and half in this particular palette. I don't remember. Okay, so you can see, just like in inks, there are a lot of real close similarities among the different browns and oranges and greens, grungy colors here in this palette. And some of the difference is due to the finish. Just like in inks, you've got, different, some of these are cream to powder, some of them are just metallic, some of them are ultra high metallic, they are duochromes. There's a lot of different varieties there, and they're all coated here. But anyway, what I'm going to do is set this aside, and now I'm going to go through my ink swatch book, and let's see how many of these I can find a match for. That's the problem with this book. It's really kind of too big. Let me do this instead. Instead of do my book, let me pull out my swatch cards. That'll be a lot easier. So I have all my samples in one, but then my full size um, ink bottles I keep kind of colored in color combinations. So the downside is that because now I have so many samples, I'm going to have to look in two places to try to find the colors, and these aren't really organized in any particular color family. So again, this is probably going to take some time, but I'm going to film it all, see how much I want to cut out. But this is my mission today, is to find some really good fall inspired inks for to ink up my pens I'm going to be using for the next month, probably up until Thanksgiving. I'm thinking. Okay, so now I've got a decent list of inks to try to swatch to a good number of these eyeshadow colors. So let me go upstairs to start swatching, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. I did not find a match for this one, but this one I'm going to try Smoky Bourbon, which is by Colorverse. I have a sample of it, and I will swatch that in the squares I've laid out here. Number 2. Okay, and then there were 2 matches for number 4. One is Colorverse Cornfield. I'm going to try that. And this will be good to compare them side by side to see how they look. I am using a Speedball V0 nib and my Maverick pens stacked resin nib holder that I got at the pen show, San Francisco Pen Show. I had another video where I showed you this, but I opted up not to upload it because it was another ink swatching video, and I didn't do a good enough job at getting up close with it. So, and it was really long. This one will be long too, but I will edit it. But I did want to showcase this nib holder because it's so pretty. This is Diamine Desert Burst. And for some... Alrighty, so I'm going to let this all dry, and then we're going to come back in and do a close-up comparison. I'm going to select the inks I want to put in some pens. I'm going to find the pens I want to put them in, match them with some inks, and I'll do a final ink up and currently inked swatch. All right, I'm back. Everything's dried now, and I've made a key for all of the inks that I'm trying to match with this. But just to kind of bring it up closely, I'm going to show you the matches. So this number 2 is Colorverse Kentucky Smoky Bourbon. Number 4 has 2 swatches. They are Colorverse Iowa Cornfield and Diamine Desert Burst. Number 5 has 2 swatches, and they are Birmingham Pen Company Burleywood and Robert Oster Kansas City. Number 6 is Van Diemen's Autumn Morning. 7 has 3, and they looked quite different, especially on this Cosmo Air Light paper. I noticed quite a few things shifted color here versus the way I look at them on my regular writing paper, which is Toy River. So I probably should have swatched this in something else, but this was what I had handy to pick up. So I have Anderillium Tulip Moth Warm on the top, Jacques Herbin Lee d'été in the middle, and Sailor Shikiori Kitsune Biori for the bottom. Number 8 is the Troublemaker Sinologue Black. Number 9, I couldn't find a match for. Number 10 has 2 possibilities, and they were Birmingham Pen Company Wilting Thicket and Platinum Citrus Black. Number 11 is Diamine Golden Sands. Number 12 is the Amarillo Stationery Teal Waistband. 13, get a better look at that, is Sailor Kansas. 14 is Wearingeul Starchild. 15, there's 3. We have Robert Oster OKC, Sailor Ori Susabune, and Kobe 76 Park Tree. 16 is Jacques Herbin Brun Eiffel. 17 is Ackerman Garuda Rude. 18 has two. They are Diamine Honeyburst Octopus Brown Colibri. Number 19 is no blank. I didn't have any match for that. And then for the last one in this column, it was Diamine Blood Orange. That's a pretty color. Two more columns. We've got on top here, number 21, we had two matches. They were BPC Chicken Coop and BPC Firebox. Next one, that nice blue, is Journalize Deep Space, where is it? Autumn? Aurora Blue, rather. 23 has two. The top one is the Sailor Shikiori Suki Gokoro, and then the Jacques Herbin Emerald de Chavour is the one on the bottom with all that shimmer. 24 is KWZ Firecracker, and 25 is Amarillo Toasty Joggers. 26, I put these down in reverse order. The top one is Kobe Ocher, and the bottom one is Dame Freya Shark from Van Diemen's. I wrote them in the opposite order. And this is one that really was off. This looks straight pink, but it's not pink. It's more peachy colored. So this was different. 27 is Jacques Herbin Café de Ile. 28, this one down here, is Platinum Brune Sepia. So I'm going to lay them down again so that you can kind of see the palette effect. Those are great colors for fall. This is picking up purple. That's not in the palette, but the base is the same color that matches these shadows from the palette. And actually, I may do this more frequently because color palettes, or the eyeshadow palettes, are artfully selected to have complementary colors, and it takes all of the guesswork out of it for me. So this is fun to do. I'm going to swatch the inks with my Maverick Pens nib holder and my Speedball B0 nib. And because I have all of my pens already inked, I'm going to show the writing example in the pen itself. So let me lay the swatch down first. This first pen has the Colorverse Kentucky Smoky Bourbon in it. This is a sample I got from Van Ness, and it is a nice kind of goldeny brown color. Would I buy a bottle of it? I need to use up a lot of what I have before I buy any more bottles. So this is Colorverse. I'm writing too fast. Colorverse Kentucky Smoky Bourbon. And it's in a Sailor Pro Gear Christmas Spice and a 21 karat gold medium fine nib. I picked this up last year, probably on one of the end of the year sales. I'm not sure which one, but I have decided that the Sailor Pro Gear is a much better fit for me than the Pro Gear Slim, which is probably a good thing because all the fun colors seem to be in the Pro Gear Slims, and I don't buy those anymore. So this one is a nice color. Glad I got it. Okay, the next ink is the Kobe number 76 Futatabisan Park Tree. or something like that. And I'm gonna make sure this is dried off. Yeah. And this is a nice kind of a bluish green, I would say. And I have that inked in my Zodiac pen Sagitarius model. That is the Sea Glass collaboration with Karyna Loves to Plan. And this one has a special insignia on the nib that was part of that design. And I have a matching sticker from Karyna. And this is a really nice pen. I love the colors of the glass in here. It is very nice, lends itself nice for autumn. I have a extra fine nib on this. So this is a Zodiac, and I'll put Karyna Sea Glass. And let me put the ink name down. Kobe 76. I just call it Park Tree, but I'll put the whole name down here. All right. The next ink I have selected is the Platinum Citrus Black. And I have this, some in a sample bottle still, but I'm using this bottle to swatch it for you. And this is one that turns color of this, all of these black in their series. It comes down this really vibrant yellow. And you may be thinking, what does that have to do with fall? But just wait and see what happens to it as it oxidizes. And I have that in my Esterbrook Model J Pumpkin Spice. And this originally came, I purchased it with a Fude Flex nib, but I swapped it out with just a fine flex nib because I wasn't in the mood to play with the Fude nib. This month in particular, see how it's already turning that really pretty kind of yellow, green, blackish color. So this is Platinum Citrus Black. And it really isn't too light to write with because of the way it dries. So this is in my Esterbrook Model J. This is probably my favorite. Is it pumpkin spice? It's pumpkin latte. Pretty sure it's pumpkin latte. And this is a extra fine flex, although I'll show you in a bit. It's not really flex that much. It flexes a little bit, but you get a little bit of line variation, not a whole lot. If I don't use any, that's what it looks like. But then if I use some, you get some on the downstroke. So I'll use a little different pressures there. Okay. The next one is inked with Kobe number 54 Goshikiyama Ocher. And this is the one I did the switcheroo on because I originally had it inked in another Esterbrook pen and I really didn't want to have to clean it out, and I didn't want to keep it in the pen it was in, even though it matches the pen. It doesn't. I needed another pen that worked with the next ink I'm going to show you. So I was able to successfully transfer both the pen nib, the nib unit, and the converter into this Esterbrook Camden Oktoberfest, which I picked up last year on one of their sales. So this now has the 1.1 stub, which was originally in the next pen I'm going to show you. So this is Um, I'm just going to do a little Kobe shortcut on this. And this one looks more peach, but it kind of dries down a little bit deeper. So it kind of hits that middle tone there that I'm looking for. It's a pretty color. I really like it. I'll not try to say it. Goshi. Hard not to sound out things when I write it down. Okay, so this is the Esterbrook Camden model. And this is a comfortable rider too. They just don't have very many of them. This was the only one I've ever seen, but I'm kind of new to this hobby, Oktoberfest, and it's in their 1.1 stub nib. I love stubs. I have a whole video on them if you haven't seen it, and I need to update it because I've purchased more since then. But I love that line variation. So that's a really pretty match too. I like that. Okay, this is the next pen. This is the pen that originally had this color in it because it kind of picks up on these salmon colored flecks in this. This is an Esterbrook Estie oversize in Nouveau Bleu. And I picked this up at the San Francisco Pen Show because I never had an Esterbrook oversize. So I swapped the nibs from that Camden I just showed you, which was originally a fine. And I'm going to, I have this inked up in Sailor's Suki Gokoro. It's just such a fun color. All of my inks are such fun colors. I can't use them all at once. I had so many, I had like over 30 pens that I just cleaned out. So I have to tone it down. This is 8 that I'm keeping inked for this next month. It's a little more manageable. Oh, I forgot Sailor Gokoro. I'll do Suki and then a little arrow. Oh, mercy. Okay, so this is my Esterbrook Estie oversize in Nouveau Bleu. How do you spell Nouveau? There's an A in there, isn't there? Something like that. I'll look it up later. And this is in a fine. And you can see now that it's kind of turning a gray. Oh, what am I doing? I'm doing lots of little squigglies. Not a gray, a green blue. So it's not exactly a great match for this pen, but it's the only pen I had available to ink up in this darker color because I was doing a little swap. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. And I like this. I'm not done trying this out. I think the oversize is my favorite size in the Estie series. So yeah. Now the next one is going to be Wearingeul Starchild, which I already had inked up in this TWSBI Cream Rose Gold. And so let me swatch that for you. Ooh, this would be good. I'm just looking at this. That would be good color for that too, wouldn't it? Oh, and this would be too. This pen goes with so much. Look at that. It would go with all of these colors, not the citrus black, but all of these other colors. That's so cool. Possibilities are endless. Okay, so I need to agitate this a little bit because this has a shimmer. This has that little purple shimmer to it. It's really pretty. And since I already had it inked up, I'm calling it to stay inked up for this purpose. Because the base color is one that matched that palette. The little purple shift doesn't really, but it still is a complement to all the colors here. So I'm keeping it, and I'll agitate it a little bit inside the actual pen. And this is, oh, TWSBI's always are down there. This looks like a stub, but they always, all of their designations are underneath the top of the grip. So you have to pull the unit out to be able to see for sure. But I can tell this is a stub. So this one is Wearingeul Star Child. The Star Child. This is in TWSBI ECO Creme Rose Gold with a 1.1 stub. So pretty. The next pen I have is my Leonardo Momento Zero. That was a special collab with Stilo Estile, and it is Kintsugi. And this one I bought at the beginning of the year. I did upgrade it to the gold nib, so it's 14 karat gold extra fine nib, and it has a special meaning to me this year. So I've kept it inked up ever since I got it, and I have it in this Diamine Golden Sands, which is one of their shimmer inks, and I've not had any problems with it. And when you write with this, it writes like liquid gold. Now it will dry down a little darker than that, but it's not pretty. Oh, I don't have to do the L again, do I? I already did Leonardo Momento Zero, 14 karat gold, extra fine nib. After this is dry, I'll lift it up so you can kind of see how it just looks like I'm writing with gold. And even though you can see it's obviously lots of shimmer in the feed, when I come to clean this, it's going to be a different story, but it's not had any clogging issues. It writes right away upon startup. It's been great. Now the last ink is this Colorverse Cornfield. And I already had that inked up in my Esterbrook niblet, so it's hanging in there. I'm probably going to have to move this up so that it's in focus or on screen. So let me move a few things. I'll move this up a bit. So you may be wondering why this is called cornfield, because isn't corn green? Well, I grew up on a farm in Iowa, And this is what it looks like at harvest time. It's kind of just a dull brownish yellow. Well, dull brown. So this is really a pretty good recreation of what it does look like. Now I see it's feathering a little bit on this paper. I'm not sure why. This is in the honeycomb colorway. And I also have a stub nib on this. Yeah. Now you see I am able to write with it unposted, but it also has a screw on nib, so, or back. What am I doing? It also has, it screws on to post. So this is obviously a much more comfortable way to write with it longhand, but just for this short writing, you know, I can make it work with just without the post. So there you have it. That is my currently inked for October. So let me zoom in, give you a little closer shot of my pens and of my inks. So the Colorverse Smoky Bourbon, the Kobe 76, Platinum Citrus Black, and see how much that has darkened now since it's dried. You saw it come on like a pure lemon yellow, and it's really dried down. The Kobe 54, Sailor Suki Gokoro, Wearingeul Star Child, and you can see a little bit of that purple shimmer when I move it. It's not as noticeable in the writing, obviously, as in the swatch. So the writing, you just get a hint of it. It's not overpowering. This is the Diamine Golden Sands, and see how that just looks like liquid gold once you write with it. Oh, it's beautiful. Very legible, very beautiful. And then last is the Colorverse Cornfield, the color of harvest corn. So there you have it. There's my currently inked. I'm looking forward to enjoying a reasonable collection of 8 pens. Until next time, thank you. Bye.